AlpenFury is Canada's Wonderland's 2025 Premier Rides dual launch coaster. This is going to be the tallest, fastest, and longest launch coaster in Canada, and it will feature 9 inversions, which is the most on any roller coaster in North America. The announcement of AlpenFury has been very well received with everyone that I've talked with. The coaster looks absolutely amazing. This was way better than any of us were ever expecting. I'm going to have a full analysis on the coaster coming out within the next week, but today I'm here to talk about everybody's biggest complaint with this coaster, which will be the capacity. Everybody's complaining that it only has 2 18-passenger trains, but I'm here to tell you that even with 2 trains, I do think AlpenFury will be able to cycle through a decent number of riders. Maybe not as much as the B&Ms like Leviathan, Behemoth, and Yukon, because those will have much more substantial number of riders per hour, but I don't think that this coaster will be as low of a capacity ride as some of you might think. And we're going to dive into that right now. So from the moment the train dispatches out of the station till it hits the final brake run is about 56 seconds. The advertised length of the coaster in terms of duration is 1 minute and 20 seconds, which is about 80 seconds. But this is including if you're going to stack on the brake run for a little bit after you complete the ride. Before I dive into any stats about riders per hour, let's pull a little El Toro Ryan here and look at the block zones of the coaster, which I believe AlpenFury will have 4 block zones on the ride. Those being the station block, the launch 1 block, the launch 2 block, and the final brake run and waiting brake. So some of you might be thinking, well, it has 4 block zones, that means it should be able to run 3 trains, right? Because you always have to have 1 more block zone than you do number of trains. Now, launch coasters operate a little differently than chain lift roller coasters. So AlpenFury is able to stack 1 train on the final brake run and 1 train in the station. And this is with 4 block zones. So if AlpenFury ran with 3 trains, it would have nowhere to stack its 3rd train on the brake run. Now, some of you might think that AlpenFury might be able to run 3 trains if they have a train waiting in the holding brake before the first launch, but this is simply not possible. And let me give you a scenario to explain why. So you have a train on the launch 1 block, you have a train in the station, and you have a train on the final brake run. So the train on the launch 1 block clears launch 1 and it heads towards launch 2. Now, this train is not able to clear launch 2 until the final brake run is clear. And the train waiting on the final brake run is unable to advance into the station until the train in the station is dispatched into the launch 1 block. Therefore, the train entering the launch 2 block will be unable to clear launch 2 and will be forced to stop at launch 2 because the final brake run is not clear. So I hope this makes sense, and I hope that this shows you that even with 4 block zones, AlpenFury is not able to run 3 trains. Now let's have a look at what the fastest dispatch with 2 trains could possibly be. So a train in the station dispatches into launch 1, and simultaneously the train on the final brake run advances into the station. After this train is loaded with guests, there are 2 possible scenarios that could happen. If the launch 1 block is programmed as a holding area, the train in the station will be able to dispatch into the launch 1 block and wait for the train on the course to clear the final brake run and enter the station. From here, I believe the ride will be able to launch the train in launch 1 into the launch 2 block as if it is programmed more aggressively at a specific time that will give the train on the final brake run enough time to enter the station to prevent a setup at the launch 2 block. Personally, I do think that programming the launch 1 block into a holding brake is a potential option for this coaster, but I don't think that is necessary, and I don't think it actually boosts the capacity of AlpenFury. In my other scenario, the train in the station will be waiting for the train on the course to clear a specific point on the course, which will house a proxy sensor. Proxy sensors are used to monitor the train's location on the course. Therefore, once the train passes this proxy sensor, the train in the station is alerted that it is able to dispatch without causing a setup on the launch 2 block. Based on the animated POV, I believe this proxy sensor would be located right before the final inversion. If a train in the station is dispatched at this time, I believe this will give the train on the course enough time to clear the final brake run and enter the station. The time from when the train dispatches out of the station till the train hits this final inversion is about 51 seconds. This is what I believe to be the max dispatch time, as I believe if a train is dispatched sooner than this point, the dispatch train would be forced to set up in the launch 2 block. A 51-second dispatch yields a theoretical capacity of about 1,270 riders per hour, which is about 70 trains per hour. At first I thought this number number was a little high, but after doing the calculations and lining up the POVs, it seems to be pretty accurate. But this is based off of an animated POV, so maybe the ride in real life will run a little slower, you never know. But even so, this is a decently high number of riders for a ride with only two 18-passenger trains. Even if a train can only be dispatched once a train is stacked on the final brake run, this dispatch would still only be around 60 seconds, which would yield a theoretical capacity of 1,080 riders per hour, or 60 trains per hour. This is still really good for a ride with only two 18-passenger trains, because Top Thrill 2 can only dispatch every 83 seconds, which is about 43 dispatches, or 860 riders per hour. So a ride like AlpenFury can actually do a lot more riders per hour than a ride like Top Thrill 2. And Cedar Point had their ride operators running to hit this minimum dispatch interval. And when I was at Cedar Point, Top Thrill 2's line actually moved pretty decently. And I believe Canada's Wonderland will do the same for AlpenFury when it opens. I do believe that this coaster will be a smash hit for the park. I'm so excited to experience this layout. There's so much we haven't seen before with this coaster. So stay tuned for more AlpenFury videos. I have an AlpenFury analysis coming out hopefully next week, as well as construction updates to come. So take it easy, guys, and I'll see you guys later.